Welcome, podcaster. May I say, the best show of the year.
Hey, now you're getting it.
That's the vibe.
And I genuinely do believe so. Tonight's show was so good. Obviously, we did Gory Stories, as we always do on Fridays. But we also asked what do you still have access to, which was a lot of fun. Also, I might not have a job next week, so that'll be good. Enjoy.
Previously on Ben, Liam and Belle.
I signed the cremation certificate for a patient who then went and got cremated, but they had a pacemaker in, so it exploded the entire furnace of the crematorium and blew out a whole wall.
Talk about going out with a bang.
And now, live across Australia, this is Ben, Liam and Belle.
I didn't think pacemakers would explode if they were. I've obviously never put a human in a microwave, but
On Nova.
Yes, we made it. It's a Friday evening. You're here with Ben, Liam and Belle.
And we want to kick it off tonight on 13 24 10. What do you still have access to? There's a little rumour going around here at Nova that someone who used to work here still has their car park pass and they're using it to get free car parking in the little secret staff car park.
Naughty.
Very naughty.
I have worked at some Novas in different states.
Mhm.
Very convenient locations. Your cards still do work. So from time to time, if I'm in town with the vehicle, I'll park some
Oh my
city
gosh.
shopping.
Really?
Yeah, on the weekends, it's pretty quiet.
I've never tested it, but I have my super old ABC card still.
Oh, sweet. So we could get into the ABC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, please don't.
Hang out with Peter Gers. Is he ABC?
ABC Adelaide, a very local reference there. But yes, for our Adelaide listeners this evening who listen to AM radio on weekends, yes, that would have hit pretty hard. But for the rest of the country, I'm assuming they'd be pretty confused right about now.
You could go into the play school set. That's a bit of fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
We do have
that probably would have ticked more head boxes for sure.
We do have prizes up for grabs tonight. 13 24 10. What do you still have access to? Linda in Melbourne, what do you still have access to?
Hey guys, I've still got access to my old login for a retail store that I used to work at 5 years ago, which gives me 50% discount.
Oh, that's all right. So you're taking the staff discount still. Would we know the store?
Yeah, it's a very, 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 very popular one. Cotton On.
Oh, that's sick.
It's very good because you've got Typo, Supre, all of them are all part of it, so you just get 50% off the whole company, basically.
Yeah, and then of course you go on Depop and stuff and sell it for like 80%, and then you're sort of, you're turning a bit of a profit on the corporates.
Adam in Melbourne, what do you still have access to?
Oh, I've still got access to a mobile phone account paid for by one of the big mobile phone companies.
Good. And did you get that when you were working for? Well, I'm not going to say which one, but it could be Telstra, it could be Vodafone,
It could be Telstra, could be just let's just say it's Telstra.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you're out of yourself there, Adam.
So find me if you like.
Oh, they could.
No, they probably will. I'll stop your phone off now. But, I worked there for about 5 years ago. I left 5.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was in a sort of senior position, and they sort of give you a form to fill out so you can take your number with you and move on type thing. And I just never filled the forms out because I wasn't great at that.
Yeah.
And it just kept paying.
Yeah, amazing, Adam. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I didn't know that you got that deal.
Yeah.
What about you, Tina and Sydney? What do you still have access to?
I have a key for my old work. I worked at a kids' play centre, and it's now a wellness centre. I also have keys to my parents' old home that sold 2 years ago. I have keys to a caravan
Tina.
estate.
Yeah, look, I get the wellness centre. You use the spa facilities, maybe ice baths if that's your thing. I do think it's a bit sus that you're entering in at night to your parents' old family home when there is now a young family in there. There's children sleeping before school, and you're taking snacks from the pantry and that sort of thing. Not on, Tina. Not on.
And an old caravan as well.
Oh, yes, yeah. Alana, what about you? You've still got access to something?
Yeah, so I've still got the logins to the restaurant ordering system that I used to work at. and I can go in and order, say, like $3,000 worth of cakes to be delivered to the shop tomorrow if I wanted to.
Oh, so you know, it wouldn't be like a benefit to you, but you could really do over the business if you wanted to.
I could definitely if I wanted to, yes.
Do you know, I just realised
okay.
Ben and I used to work for Triple J, and Belle used to produce. I still got the text line, like on my phone. Like I could send the text line if I wanted to.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like an app that you'd have, so you could like see it on your phone.
Yeah, we could do a bit where we just...
Yeah, I could be like a
we
mole
on air
and like
here, we-
sus. Yeah.
Ellie in Sydney, what do you still got access to?
I still got access to my first boyfriend's Uber account from 10 years ago.
Yeah, and so you're obviously not together anymore. Do you use Ubers and get Uber Eats and that sort of stuff in his account?
I use it every day, and the poor guy
Ellie.
sees my hungover Sunday Uber Eats receipts, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
wonders what on earth I'm up to.
And so the guy,
Thanks his lucky stars he's not with me.
yeah, so he's just like a bit of a cuck. Like he's like, oh, maybe if she gets enough like Thai food orders on a Sunday, like she might come back to me one day. Maybe, I don't know, worth it.
Also, the first time we've had the C-bomb drops.
Yeah, you allowed to say that?
I don't know if yeah.
Yeah, it's not a swear
Thumbs
word,
up?
I don't think. No, it's not.
I didn't know you could say that.
Yeah.
Do one,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, let's just not throw it around.
Go on, Belle, you do one.
No.
Go on. Oh, you're going to get in trouble. 13, 24, 10. What do you still have access to?
We've had some incredible calls so far, and we do have prizes up for grabs. Jake in Melbourne, what do you still have access to?
Yeah, g'day guys, how are we?
Pretty good, Jake. Go for it.
Yeah, so I was just moving house and I cleaned out my bedside table and found out I still have keys that would give me access to an old McDonald's building that is still trading. I'm talking entry, safes, freezers, the lot.
Whoa.
And obviously that is cool. But the thing about Macca's, which is great in every other situation, is it is open 24/7. So even with that key, very hard to find a downtime when it's not fully staffed and the nugget fryer's on, you know?
You see, the beauty of this store, it's one of the rare ones that actually do close at night still, so...
What?
Oh.
Do some of them actually close?
I guess some of the countryer ones, maybe.
Yeah, is that out in the country, Jake?
Metro Melbourne.
All right.
I didn't know
Maybe we
that
can
was
fleece them for all their nuggets.
Yeah.
Of course, we wouldn't do that because we love
wouldn't be
McDonald's
a
here.
big supporter of us
Absolutely.
here at Nova, but it would be fun to do that one night, to just go in and turn some of the machines on. And, you know.
Thanks, Jake.
W's in the chat for this pod.
Belle, do you want to work at Nova?
Yes.
Well, do you?
Yes.
I'm just checking.
What have I done now? Bloody hell.
Is there anything you'd like to disclose at this point to Ben and myself?
I love working here.
Well, I don't know if you do, because earlier in the week you received a strike, a written warning, if you will, for attending a 50th anniversary party at another radio station, Triple J.
Yeah, which then you got all
No,
in a huff
well-
about because you realised that you also got an invite but didn't go.
Well, look, we weren't
So-
invited.
Even if we
You
did
were
get invited,
invited.
we wouldn't have gone because we're loyal to Nova.
We work for Nova. We work for another radio station now. That was years ago. It's literally like 6 years ago. So why would we go to that? Now, in light of that information, is there anything that you would like to confess to? Because
Uh-oh.
interestingly, we received some intel this morning from an industry whistleblower. Apparently, and I can't believe I'm actually having to say this, you were on air.
I didn't mean to be on air.
You were
I
on
didn't
air
mean to be on air.
on Triple J. You work for Nova. You do a show, the Late Drive program, with myself and Ben.
Yes.
We're live right around the country for 2 hours, 5 days a week.
Yes, very lucky.
A lot of airtime, a lot of time for you to come on and talk about whatever you want from your personal life or whatever. It's literally your name's on the door.
Yes.
And you still thought you would find the time to talk on another radio station.
It was an accident because...
It was an accident.
it was
What
an
happened? How?
So, well, I got in my car and my radio slipped and
So-
fell onto that station. And then they were talking about a really relatable topic. And so I pulled over and I thought, oh, I'll just send like a text.
You
because
text
can
another
text
radio
her.
station.
And then my phone rang and I was like, oh no, like they want to get me on air. And as
And you
I used
jumped
to
at
be
the
a
chance, I
producer,
bet.
and I know how when you get a text and you go, oh yay, now we can fill out the next break and call this person. I know that, you know, you're happy when they can come on air. And so my phone rang and I thought I'd help them and share my story on air.
Ben hasn't said anything. He's obviously clearly lost for words and just bamboozled by the whole thing.
Sorry.
Well, I just think to prove to everyone that what we're saying is true, we've actually found the audio. Let's just play it and you can make up your own mind.
Belle on the line. Belle, you have a bit of a cat vomit story. You put up with something quite awful just to get some shut-eye, really.
One of my cats vomited in the middle of the night. I woke up to it like making that gagging sound
So crazy.
on my pillow next to my head, and all the vomit went on the pillow. And I was like so still half asleep that I just thought, you know what, screw it. And I rolled over the other way, ignored it, slept next to the cat vomit puddle for the rest of the night, then overslept through my alarm, so then was running late to work, woke up, realised what I'd been sleeping next to all night, and then was just like, you know what, I'm just going to have to leave it for the rest of the day. And then it just like rotted on the pillow for the rest of the day.
Sorry to do this so early, guys. It's, but then this stuff happens. Magdalena Bay right now. You're on Triple J.
What is wrong with you?
You couldn't even tell it was me.
Do you care about your career?
You could not tell that was me.
Have you brushed up on the old contract that you signed?
Well, no, so what
Subsection C, non-compete obligation. Here we go. I'll just refresh you. The talent agrees not to participate in any on-air activities, broadcasts or programs, including but not limited to radio shows, interviews or guest appearances on any other radio station, network or media outlet that directly competes with Nova Entertainment.
Is it a direct competitor?
It is,
It's on the dial.
in the ratings.
It's on the dial.
Yeah.
Perhaps you want to read down a bit further. Consequences of breach.
Here we go.
Because I'll be forwarding this to the boss. In the event that the talent breaches this exclusivity provision, the station reserves the right to terminate this agreement immediately and pursue any other remedies available under law. Okay, so...
I wanted to help out.
It's a second strike, Belle! I don't know what you're going to have to do to receive a third, but it's not good for our first week on air for 2025.
Sorry,
Okay,
I'm sorry. I
so
pledge my allegiance.
best behaviour from now on.
You're on Nova.
I bet you can't keep a mewing streak for this whole podcast.
13 24 10. Did you drop one in a famous location? I went to the top of the Eiffel on Christmas Day, guys. Ever been up there?
No, I've been to it and it didn't go up. The line was too long.
It's a long line. It really is. Even on Christmas Day, we thought there's nothing else open. People are probably busy, so we'll just do it then. And yeah, too busy. Belle?
Yes, I have.
Did you go up to the very top?
Yes.
And so there's like a little model of the Eiffel, the guy who did, he named the tower after himself.
Oh.
Yeah. Forgot his first name. But there is also a toilet up there. And I sort of thought whilst I was up there, I was like, you have to, right?
You did.
So I did. I dropped the kids off 330 metres above the Parisian skyline.
Whoa.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I mean, that's one hell of a drop toilet if it's a
It
drop
is.
toilet.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I don't know if anyone can beat me. 13, 24, 10. Famous poos.
Famous poo.
So maybe, you went to the toilet in the World Trade in the 90s, like when it was still around. Maybe it was the MCG change rooms. I don't know. Like it's a location or it's a time or a place where you're like, yeah, I went to the toilet there.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I reckon I did at Petra.
Petra,
Yep.
very famous.
Yeah, one of the wonders of the
in
world.
Jordan.
Yeah, it's the one that's carved into the stone face.
Is it? Do they have what's the bathroom operation like? There?
Wasn't great.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah, it wasn't great. You got to pay to get in there as well.
So you had to pay at the top of the Eiffel Tower,
Yeah.
and there's a bloke. You know how they have the dudes in there
Yeah.
in Europe.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not a great job being a bog goblin, like sort of guarding the toilet for a euro.
Yep.
However, that's probably the best job in the city. If
Yeah.
that was your career path, if you were sort of like, what a view up here,
Was he standing outside and could look at the view all day, or was he like, it's a good job, but he also was in a
I'm
toilet?
putting May on it. He was far back in that toilet, very
Aw,
close to
that's
the
sad.
urinal. James in Brisbane, did you drop one somewhere famous?
Yeah, I did. Years ago, we were hiking the Inca Trail up to Machu Picchu.
Wow.
And, I sort of went... I knew I shouldn't, but I just sort of ran off the path, and everyone was wondering where I was, and I had to be all sneaky about it. But, yes, I did.
Yeah, on the Inca Trail. Okay.
Yeah. Is that like a sort of heritage site?
that
where you're not allowed to see
disrespectful?
because mine was in a toilet. Like, it is...
Yeah,
it
we're not
isn't a
asking-
cool location, but it is about... Yeah.
Yeah, we're not asking, did you?
Yeah, it was like,
something
I shat on the tiles at the Taj Mahal. I don't want to hear that. Nicole in Melbourne, where'd you drop one?
It wasn't me, it was a friend. And it's not a famous place, but it's a well-known place. We went up Hanging Rock. And we got to the top. Yeah, we got to the top, and he's like, oh, man, I need to,
Yeah.
So there was no one around. He did what he had to do, used his jocks to tidy himself up and just covered it with his jocks, and we left.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, again, this is like the last call we had was like, is it disrespectful? I can't tell. But yeah, well, that is a spot.
Nicole, thank you. Nathan in Melbourne, where did you go?
How you guys? I went in the players' change room at the Camp Nou, which is where Barcelona play.
Yeah, the new cap. Yeah, huge. I actually went to Barca as well recently, and they were renovating it, so I couldn't poo in there, unfortunately. So it was like a work site. There would have been portaloos around.
How did you get in there, Nathan?
It was part of a stadium tour, and it wasn't until afterwards that I realised that the sign said that it was player access only.
Oh, whoa. So, I mean, that's where, Messi would have gone for many a nervous poos before a Champions League semi-final. You would have had the likes of Neymar, Suarez over the years.
Exactly. That's
Even
the story
Maradona.
itself.
Yeah.
Wow, you're Bowl brothers now.
I guess you are.
You're Bowl brothers with Lionel Messi.
You're listening to Len, BM and Lel. Oi, stop gooning. The next bit's about to start. Ben, Liam and Belle's
Gory Stories.
Yeah. I don't know why we do it to ourselves. You certainly feel these stories through the radio. 13 24 10. Get in touch if you do have a gory story, just like Pam, who had one recently, told us about what happened to her dad.
My dad had a high-pressure hose and it shot into his eye, and his eyeball actually came out of his eye and it was hanging by the artery on his cheek, and he said he could actually see the ground with it.
That's still my favourite gory story.
You can see the ground. Come on.
That is wild.
So good. 13 24 10 is our number if you have a gory story. Just like Steph has given us a buzz, this is also your dad, Steph. Tell us what happened.
So my dad was chainsawing a tree, and as he was cutting one of the branches, it snapped in half. He lost control of the chainsaw and it went straight into his thigh. It was about 1 millimeter away from the major vein in his leg. So there was blood everywhere, but luckily he survived and his leg survived. So
Man, I mean, lucky he didn't hit the artery. He'd have been gone for sure.
he hasn't touched a chainsaw since.
Ben, Liam and Belle's
Gory Stories.
Lane in Sydney, you've got yourself a gory story.
I do, guys. So my dad, my brother, and I all have a finger curse. My dad cut the tip of his off in a box cutter. My brother cut his whole finger off in the disc brake of a mountain bike, and I cut the tip of my finger off on a seesaw.
Hang on, sorry. We never hear this. Sorry, Lane. We get a sound effect. Not the way Gory Story works is Scudder in the audio booth. He'll give us a sound because he knows the stories and we don't. We never hear the sound before it goes on air. And this was the sound we got.
You can hear the finger rolling around.
To be fair, it's perfect for your story, but normally it's like a chainsaw or something like.
So, Lane, did you say yours was a seesaw?
Yes, it was a three-sided seesaw. I was in the middle, and a larger kid got off one end, and it pinched the top of my finger off.
Oh. Can I ask what finger was it?
It was my pinky finger.
Yeah, if you're going to lose a bit of one finger, it would be the pinky in my opinion.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your call there. Jen, you've got a gory story?
Yeah, so my brother is a doctor at the hospital, and one day there was this guy on the geriatric ward, which was the old people's ward,
Yeah.
who was very confused, and he ripped out his urinary catheter, and his penis basically inverted.
Wow, Jen, you just went for it at the end there. Oh my gosh. Hang on.
Ooh.
I'm not going to picture it.
I've
trying
never
to
heard
picture
those two words next to each other.
Yeah, it sounds like a punk band. Penis inverter.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Okay, Thanks, Jen.
Oh man, they just make your skin crawl. These calls. Karen in Melbourne, your gory story.
Yeah, my brother, out of frustration, just punched a mirror on the wall one day, and his whole broken knuckle poked through his skin of his hand.
Oh,
and that's they say you get a bit of bad luck for punching a mirror. I didn't know it was that instant, but he certainly got it.
Pretty instant. It just poked straight through, so I just had to wrap it, and
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very gory.
Stick to drywalls, Kyle.
You like that feeling in your ear holes? That's the Ben, Liam and Belle podcast.
And my wife Sam was watching TV last night. She was flicking through the channels and she landed on Channel 10. And I saw that I'm a Celeb was on. And I must say, it was the first time I'd seen it this year. And it's clear that they're scraping the bottom of the Australian celebrities barrel.
I mean, that's
Can you
rough.
say
I mean,
that?
I think I've seen the names. And then, you got like Dave Hughes is on
Hughes
there.
is on it. Matty J's on it. You've got Zach Tui, the footy player, the Irish guy.
Yep, those three I knew.
Yep, that's what I've seen in my feed popping up here and there.
Yep.
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know who else is on it.
Well, look, I've come out and said it. You two seemed a bit hesitant to say it. So why don't I test you out? I'm going to tell you the name of the celebrity, and you tell me what they do.
All right.
I've got, I believe, 6 here.
Okay.
So you got to get at least 3 for a pass, at least. Sigrid Thornton.
Sounds like maybe someone who was on like Eurovision.
Sigrid. Like a correspondent on a...
Rose to fame in the 1980s thanks to her appearance in The Man from Snowy River.
Oh, no. I really wanted to back it in here.
I hope we can get Sigrid this year.
Oh, I feel really bad.
The phone rang for the first time in a little while.
30 years.
I mean, I feel bad, but that is quite funny.
All right, who's the next person?
Nikki Buckley.
Yes.
Oh, come on, mate.
No, I've heard the name. Is she tied up in she's a sport journalist?
She's like influencer.
Sale of the Century in the 1990s.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I was born in 96, so hard to, didn't get a lot of television.
So far, I'm a 1900s celebrity. Get me out of here.
1900s? You might want to check your dates there.
No, he said 1990s, 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20th century. Liam.
All right, next one. Tina Provis. Who's Tina Provis?
You're going to prove us wrong.
Discus thrower from, I don't know.
Love Island 2021.
Not familiar.
Samantha Moitzi. I could be saying that wrong. I apologise. Samantha Moitzi.
I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm just going to keep saying influencer. Okay.
Maths 2022. This one you might know. Maybe. Do you know Reggie Bird?
Comedian.
Reggie Bird.
Actor?
Big Brother Season 3.
Oh, Reggie.
Yeah. All right, last one. I think I've made my point here, but I'll do another one.
All right, sorry. I was like, you can't say that. Now we're doing the game, and I'm like, okay, I think you can say that.
Harrison Reed. Do you know who Harrison Reed is?
Footy player?
Olympic diver.
Wrong on both counts. It's one of the Bondi Rescue lifeguards.
Take me back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything is gonna be alright.
In the jungle now.
I mean, unless it's Kerbox, I don't remember any of them.
And that's it.
Liked that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam, and Belle.